Hi, Nick Tockert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. Well, folks, very special day. I'm going to do a knife review, but I need to talk about how I got it. You see, I made it to the Central Indiana Knife and Gun Show this weekend. It was held in Crown Point, Indiana, and I was there to visit my friends who run Class 3. It's a firearms booth, and they're incredibly knowledgeable. I'm trying to get their information online, so I will definitely be, it's not here, I'll do a video hawking them. But while I was there, I met an amazing couple named Garth and Amber. I'm going to try to say their name. I'm horrible with last names. Rasmusson. This is their card. I'll hold it up. So everybody screenshot that. Okay? I'll put their information down in the description. Anyway, we started talking about our love of obscure firearms and, obviously knives, and they specialize in Damascus blades. Now I explained what I do, what we do on the guild, and Garth was kind enough to give me this with the express intent of seeking my professional opinion. This is a BarRaz, and I'll put the logo up so you can read it. This is just a simple utility knife. Now, he offered me choice of several varieties, actually. And I would say this is worth about $50. I've seen them for that or higher. He was charging less at the time because they're just a good couple. They're not trying to mess people over. So I'm going to do an initial impact review, and then I'm going to do something I've never done before. I have another piece of Damascus that I absolutely love, but I valued it too much to carry it as my everyday knife. So for the next few weeks, well, until I do the second part of this review, being the long-term review, I'm not going to wear my neck knife if I can avoid it. And I'm going to, wherever capable, carry this. I wanted a work knife. Now, obviously, from the attitude of a fighter, let's start there. This is a well-constructed, simple knife. The grip is incredibly positive. I don't see sliding. I also want to mention that the Damascus is authentic. What I mean is, a lot of times you go to buy a Damascus knife and it's actually just acid etched in the patterns. This is not acid etched, and it's hard to tell, but if you look, let me see if I can get the camera, you can see the depth of the fold lines, and I don't know if I can get it to focus. But this is a legitimate. This isn't somebody trying to rip you off. The pinning is solid. The grip of every one of their knives is solid. And I actually saw 2 retailers who had this model knife. I'm not quite sure how that worked, but this company. But these guys, amazing. Now, like I said, they had bone, and it was prettier. They have stone-looking inlays. Again, gorgeous. But longtime viewers know I'm a work guy. I see a knife first as a tool, then maybe as a weapon. And if it's a weapon, that's still a type of tool. It's full tang. It is just, you can see they polished out the lines a bit to not interfere with your grip, but you can see the fold lines on the spine of the knife. This makes me happy. Like I said, this isn't somebody ripping you off. I've got to talk about these, and I have to talk about something that I cannot relay to you. And what I am trying to talk about is the balance. The way this knife feels in your hand is something you just don't find in mass production knives. It's just so perfect. It's got that little extra weight to it. Now, as for sharpness, it certainly passes the thumb test. I can feel every ridge on my fingerprints. Please note, if you're ever checking knives and you see somebody use their finger, never go the length. That will just open your finger up and you'll be bleeding. If it doesn't, you have the world's sharpest knife. So this is the back of the knife. Never do that. That's going to split you up like you're having the world's worst diabetic blood test. as light as possible. You want to go with the edge against the grain. And what you'll feel on a truly sharp knife is the ripples of your fingerprint. And you can definitely feel these. This was handed to me sharp. I've done nothing to it. And I'll just take, and I'm going to try to do the paper test. There we go. I had to find the right angle. But this is cutting with very minimal effort. I mean, I've had sharper, but one thing you have to watch for, I find, is if a knife is too sharp, it becomes brittle very fast. So this is what I call a functioning edge. This isn't a surgical edge, but in most knives, especially something like Damascus, you don't really want, in my opinion, a surgical edge. Now, Damascus has a bit of a reputation for rusting compared to tool steels and some of the other things. And that's like why I haven't carried one. But what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to carry this knife. I'm going to use it like I use a knife, which is frankly a bit of abuse. I'll open boxes, I'll carve with it, I'll use it to work on my next project. This is a trainer I'm going to talk about in another video. But first instinct, first thought, I am honored and amazed to be able to have this knife in my hand. It is one of the finest, just simply elegant tools I've had the pleasure of owning. And I'm very thankful to Garth and Amber. I'm thankful we had a wonderful conversation. It's nice to meet like-minded individuals. And I really support, former law enforcement officers. I support people who've given to the community. When they step back from that role, it's our time to give to them, in my opinion. So I'm going to put all their links in this. And what I'm going to do is, whenever I feel I've worked through, it may take me a week or two, I'm going to do a second video. So it'll be a part 2, the long-term review. Because I think anybody can open up a knife, go, hey, it's nice. Obviously this is American made. This is handmade, wonderful tool. What's it going to do? You can get fooled sometimes. I don't think this is going to fool me. I think this is a wonderful knife, and I think you should look to order your own. But for the integrity of the channel, I will certainly carry this around all over the place, field test it. I'll pass it to other good knife guys I know, and I will meet you back here to talk about it. So until then, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and as always, support your local swordmaster.